Debt is a scary word for most people. They think of debt as something that will ruin their finances and make them poor. But what if I told you that debt can also make you rich? Yes, you heard me right. Debt can be a powerful tool to create wealth if you know how to use it wisely. The key is to understand the difference between good debt and bad debt. Bad debt is when you borrow money for things that lose value over time and don't generate any income. For example, buying a car, a TV, or a smartphone with a loan. These things will only cost you more money in the long run because you have to pay interest and maintenance. Bad debt is like a hole in your pocket that keeps getting bigger. Good debt is when you borrow money for things that increase in value over time and produce income. For example, buying a property, a business, or a stock with a loan. These things will make you more money in the long run because they appreciate and pay dividends. Good debt is like a seed that grows into a tree that bears fruits. Let me give you an example to illustrate this. Suppose you take a loan and buy a house for yourself. You might think that this is a good investment because you own an asset. But actually, this is a bad debt because you have to pay a lot of expenses such as mortgage, taxes, insurance, and maintenance. And you don't get any income from your house unless you sell it. Now suppose you take another loan and buy a house for rent. You might think that this is a risky move because you have to pay 2 loans. But actually, this is a good debt because you get a monthly income from your tenant, which can cover your loan payments. And you still own an asset, which can increase in value over time. This is how rich people build their empires. They use debt to buy assets that make them money, not liabilities that cost them money. They use debt to leverage their wealth, not to limit their growth. Leverage is a term used in finance to describe the use of borrowed money to increase the potential return of an investment. Now suppose you take a loan and buy a house for rent. This is a good debt because you get a monthly income from your tenant, which can cover your loan payments, and you still own an asset which can increase in value over time. This is how rich people build their empires. They use debt to buy assets that make them money, not liabilities that cost them money. They use debt to leverage their wealth, not to limit their growth. For example, when Elon Musk decided to buy Twitter, he borrowed $13 billion, even though he had $250 billion in his bank account. Why did he do that? Because he knew that Twitter was worth more than $13 billion, and he could make a huge profit by using leverage. There are many ways to use leverage to get rich with debts. In this video, we will show you case studies of how people have done it successfully. Case Study 1. Investing in commercial properties. One way to use leverage is to invest in commercial properties, such as office buildings, shopping malls, or hotels. These properties can generate a steady income from rent and also appreciate in value over time. Here is how it works. You take a loan from the bank and buy a commercial property. You then rent it out to a tenant who pays you a monthly rent. You use this rent to pay back your loan with interest. After some years, you own the property free and clear, and you can sell it for a higher price than you bought it. For example, suppose you take a loan of $1 million and buy an office building for $2 million. You rent it out for $10,000 per month, which covers your loan payment of $8,000 per month with interest. After 10 years, you pay off your loan, and you own the building worth $8 million. You can then sell it for a profit of $600,000 or keep it and enjoy the rent. Of course, this is a simplified example, and there are many factors to consider, such as vacancy, maintenance, taxes, and market conditions. But the main idea is that you use debt to buy an asset that pays for itself and then grows in value. Many people have become rich by investing in commercial properties. You can do it too if you do your research and network well. You can find properties that are undervalued or have potential for improvement. You can negotiate a good deal with the seller. You can find reliable tenants who pay on time and take care of your property. You can buy real estate smartly at 10-30% discount and make a fortune. But you have to know how. If you want a video about it, comment real estate below, and we will make a video about it. Case Study 2. Investing in stock market. Another way to use leverage is to invest in the stock market. These shares can increase in value over time and also pay dividends. Here is how it works. You take a loan from the bank and buy shares of a company. You then wait for the share price to go up and sell them for a higher price than you bought them. You use the profit to pay back your loan with interest. You keep the rest as your profit. For example, suppose you take a loan of $100,000 and buy shares of some stock at $10 per share. You buy 10,000 shares for a total of $100,000. You then wait for the share price to go up and sell them at $15 per share. You sell 10,000 shares for a total of $150,000. You pay back your loan of $100,000 with interest of $10,000. You keep the rest as your profit of $40,000. Sounds easy, right? Well, not so fast. Investing in the stock market is not as simple as it seems. There are many risks and challenges involved, such as market volatility, competition, regulation, and fraud. You need to have a lot of skill and knowledge to invest in the stock market successfully. You need to do your homework and analysis before buying any shares. You need to monitor the market trends and news constantly. You need to have a clear strategy and discipline to buy and sell at the right time. One person who did this successfully is Ashnir Grover, an Indian entrepreneur. He borrowed 100 crore rupees from a bank and used it to invest in Zomato's IPO, which is when a company sells its shares to the public for the first time. He bought the shares at 76 rupees per share and sold them at 125 rupees per share within just 8 minutes. He made a profit of 225 crore rupees and paid back his loan with interest to the bank. He did this by using his expertise and experience in the online food delivery industry and by timing the market perfectly. Of course, this is an exceptional case, and not everyone can do this. Investing in the stock market is not for the faint-hearted. It can be very rewarding, but also very risky. You can make a lot of money, but you can also lose a lot of money. You can use leverage to multiply your returns, but you can also multiply your losses. A less risky way to invest in the stock market is to invest in mutual funds, which are collections of stocks managed by professionals. These funds can diversify your portfolio and reduce your risk while still giving you decent returns. You can also use leverage to invest in mutual funds, but you need to be careful. Case Study 3. Business Leverage. Do you have a great idea for a business that can make you a lot of money? Do you want to start or expand your own business, but don't have enough money? You can use loans to fund your business and make it successful. The trick is to use loans to buy things that make you more money, not things that cost you more money. If you use a loan to buy a machine or a shop, that is a good idea because those things will make you more money over time and you will be able to pay back your loan and keep the profit. This is how you can use loans to leverage your business and wealth. Leverage means using something small to get something big. For example, when you use a lever to lift a heavy object, you use a small force to get a big force. Similarly, when you use a loan to buy something that makes you more money, you use a small amount of money to get a big amount of money. Here are 2 examples in business leverage. Example 1. Starting a new business. One way to use loans to leverage your business and wealth is to start a new business. If you have a good idea for a product or a service that people want, you can use a loan to buy the things you need to start your business, such as equipment, materials, or a place. You can then sell your product or service to your customers and make more money than you spent. For example, I know a guy who took a loan from a bank and built a cafe. He bought a coffee machine, some furniture, and rented a space. He then started to make and sell coffee to his customers. Within 5 months, he earned a lot of money, and he paid back his loan with interest. He now owns a successful cafe, and he makes a good profit every month. You can do the same thing if you have a better idea for a business. You can use a loan to start your own business and make it grow. You just need to be confident and creative and have a good plan. Example 2. Expanding an existing business. Another way to use loans to leverage your business and wealth is to expand an existing business. If you already have a business that is doing well, you can use a loan to make it bigger and better. You can buy more machines, hire more workers, or open more branches. You can then produce more goods or serve more customers and make more money than before. For example, if you run a factory and have high fixed costs, like rent or salaries, you can use a loan to buy more machines and materials. You can then make more goods and sell them for more money. The extra money you make will help you pay back your loan and also increase your profit. This is called operating leverage, and it means using fixed costs to boost profits. But be careful, this can also be risky. If your sales drop or your costs go up, you might have trouble paying back your loan and your profit might go down. You need to have trust in your idea and be prepared for any changes in the market. Do you know that in April 2023, Mukesh Ambani, the chairman of Reliance Industries, borrowed a record-breaking $5 billion loan for a nationwide 5G rollout in India? He did this even though he was very rich, with a net worth of $82 billion and a lot of assets, like a $2 billion home and properties worldwide. He did this because he wanted to leave his assets to his children, and because he saw a huge opportunity in 5G. He knew that 5G could boost India's GDP by 2% by 2030, which is $180 billion. He also knew that if he didn't do this, his competitors would. So he decided to borrow now and pay back later from his future 5G profits. Case study 4. Investing in skills. A way to use loans to leverage your business and wealth is to invest in skills. Skills are the abilities and knowledge that you have that can help you do your work better or find new opportunities. You can use a loan to learn new skills or improve your existing skills by taking courses, buying books, or hiring mentors. You can then use your skills to grow your business or start a new one and make more money than before. For example, if you want to learn how to code, you can use a loan to take a coding course or buy a coding book or hire a coding tutor. You can then learn how to code and use it to create websites, apps, or software. You can then sell your products or work for someone else and make more money than you spent. You can do the same thing if you want to learn any other skill that can help you in your business or in your career. You can use a loan to invest in your skills and make yourself more valuable. You just need to be super sure about the things you want to learn and how they can help you. Case study 5. Saving on taxes. A smart way to use loans to leverage your business and wealth is to save on taxes. Taxes are the money that you have to pay to the government from your income or your profit. Taxes can reduce your money and make you less rich. You can use loans to reduce your taxes and keep more money for yourself. For example, do you know that the world's richest man, Elon Musk, pays nearly 0% tax? He does this by using a clever trick. Every month, he takes stocks from his company instead of salary. Stocks are the shares of a company that show how much you own of it. He then places these stocks in a bank and secures a loan at a low interest rate. He uses the borrowed money for his personal expenses like food, clothes, or travel. He does this because he doesn't have to pay tax on stocks or on loans, only on salary. He also doesn't have to sell his stocks, which can make him more money in the future. He can pay back his loan later from his future income or from his other assets. You can do the same thing if you have a company or if you have stocks. You can use loans to save on taxes and keep more money for yourself.